All right, we got this whole area over here cleaned up. This is the bay where Sean's Lexus is going to be at. We're going to start the entire fuel system and everything on that car there. He's done some paint work and stuff. I did some tack welding and other things on his baffles inside his valve covers, so that way he could drive the car over here. So we're going to do an entire fuel system and everything on the car. He's ordered some quality parts, so we'll be able to dive into that, inspect and see just the kind of ease of installation and use of these parts that he's purchased. So it's going to be a real fun time having some nice quality parts to work with. It is great to have stuff like that to work with and not just the junk crap that some people like to buy because they don't have enough money or don't want to save. So I'm going to get some of these cars moved out of the way because I have way too many freaking cars. And then finally this bay can be used for once for a car to drive in and out of. Look at them valve covers. Oh my god. He's joining the club. He's got the carbon fibre and them valve covers and them fittings that I am not super happy with because aluminum likes to absorb oil. But she's looking good. She's looking good. That is a good looking car. I can't believe you actually made it in here without me guiding you. Like a glove. I forget that there's actually so much room still, even with the car in here. Yeah, that thing looks good in here. Make sure you come back for it and remind me that you have it.
Don't steal my car.
Yeah, I don't want to steal your car.
I might forget that it's here.
Yeah. Now I just want to be clear that I'm not promising you nothing. Okay? I don't want oh wow, yeah, hell yeah, let's go look at these parts.
Is there a fuel hanger?
Alright, so he used up the entirety of his credit score to get this. All billet.
Yep.
Hanger for it's a direct plug and play, so some quality fuel pump situation going on here. Some gaskets. Working on any fuel stuff in these cars is super easy. It's right under the seat here in the back, and one of the easiest things to work on. It's about as similar as the Evos. I don't think anything's as easy as the Supras. They just have that stuff delivered to you on a silver platter right in the trunk. It looks like we got an entire kit here that we can actually work with. So we got the top hat, the fuel pump. Secondary fuel pump is already in the car, which we're going to take out, and then it's a dual pumper. So we'll have two pumps on there with one 450 that's in the car with this one. We got a radium rail with proper hardware. Got some brand new. Hey, what are these Allen bolts for?
Oh, coil cover.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's okay. Intake gasket. Got the injectors, so these are ID 1050X. These are the stainless steel. Be good for like 650 wheel on ethanol, and these also will not rust. So the stainless steel parts on the inside, which are really good. The same thing that I have in the Skyline. PQI regulator. That's actually what I run. I now run it on the 240. Works really good. Got some adapters for the injectors. We've got a boost controller for ECU Master Black. Some more adapters and PTFE line with fittings. Basically got the entire thing here, and then if there's anything else that needs to be done or needs to be had, obviously I have a collection and assortment of parts for JZs and just anything performance related, obviously, because I've been doing the same thing for the last 7 or 8 years. So we have a mighty fine start to this fuel system project for the IS300. It is going to go swell, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to be taken off and removed and cleaned up in this thing. One of the biggest things is with the wiring harness here, which, if you guys are unaware, with the VVTi engines, they put the ECUs up here, but the way that the harness is if you can peel back the original shrouding on the harness, you can actually separate the wiring enough for that whole thing will wrap around the back of the head, and then you can put it inside the cab. Obviously on these there's no hole for wiring to go through because they have it all up here. So it's going to have a hole poked in there, and then a place, hopefully, somewhere that can be accessible on the inside of the car. But that's actually what I did with mine, and I'm still using a stock 1JZ VVTi harness. that I tore apart and extended by pulling some of the wiring away, so that way it didn't tie itself up here. So that's actually what's still in Ricebox. I need to rewire that car completely. It's freaking old. But yeah, you can do that, and I will probably end up filming a video on that at some point, unless Sean here decides to go with the flying lead harness and build it from scratch like I did with the Supra. Alright, we got this intake off. We're about to start the process of deleting basically everything. So under here we've got stock harness stuff, and then there's actually I don't even know what that is. Pretty sure it's like
I think it's an evap.
Yeah, evap canister. That's what I was looking for. And we got the stock cooling system deal for the oil. Typically I delete that stuff and we'll run a sandwich plate directly to the block. And if you are in the need of having a oil cooler, you can run a separate cooler to the front of the car with 10AN lines, because some of the sandwich plates do offer that. But otherwise, it's going to be a pretty easy delete here. There's not that much there to remove, and once it's gone, and there's not much there to fight with. But there's still a lot of stuff that's annoying, especially whenever you're trying to work on things. Good gravy, it's windy out here. We're gonna blow away. Sean's been messing with this damn freaking hanger. Actually, that looks really good. I didn't expect it to be this far. You're moving pretty quick. You're moving pretty quick. I got faith. I got faith in my super sick zip tie design. There ain't no way they can touch if they can't get close. I just really worry about it falling out. Hopefully it doesn't. So after about 17.5 hours, he finally got this thing put together. Good heavens, there's a lot involved in making this twin system work, but it retains all factory use. This thing is going to work really, really good, and it's definitely not going to run out of fuel for the power that he's looking for. So
I hope it fits in the hole.
Holy, no, wasn't a pun intended there. That is going to be a freaking nightmare, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
just shove it in there. It's fine. I can't believe you did that without me seeing. That looks so spicy. You better not lock that down yet.
You just show her how you
Whatever you do. Because you're going to have to wiggle that thing around to get your fittings on there, and I promise you, you don't want to tighten that.
just gonna get enough seal so that the car doesn't fill with gasoline scent all night and all day.
Okay, that's fair, that's fair. That's a way better situation than an S13. Everything on the S13s, they're all bolt, they're studs, and they're all rusty, every single one of them. And the whole top hats are metal, so they're all rusty too. It's a freaking nightmare. So this car is, we're on the verge. He's got the fuel hat and everything all situated, and that's probably the most frustrating part of doing a fuel system, is doing the in-tank stuff, especially something like this when it's freaking dual pump setup and there's already not enough room to work in. So now that that's finished, what we have to do is run all the lines and stuff, which personally I'm a pro at that. I do that stuff often. I've redone the fuel system in Ricebox, I don't know, 3 or 4 times now, and I've done fuel systems on plenty of other cars. So PTFE line is one of the best lines that you can get, and it is so easy to put the fittings on. It's insane, and I 100% recommend just spending the extra money to get this stuff and the fittings, just because of the easy use. You're not going to get your finger poked, and it's always going to seal. That's my experience with it. It's been fantastic. So once he gets that on there, I think he's going to head out. But we're going to start the fuel lines and stuff. Probably tomorrow, potentially. Yeah, he's got to do some rewiring and stuff and run the connector. This thing's gonna be freaking awesome. Then I gotta tune this car. Damn it. Alright, Sean got all the fuel lines and everything ran. I helped him do the feed line for the fuel filter and everything, just right under here. I can't freaking see it probably. Let me just get all the way down. There it is. Got the fuel filter. All the lines are up here in the front now. I had to make up this last line for the return back of the rail to the regulator. Now we're just going to reassemble it, and then with PTFE line, I've never had an issue with anything leaking, so it should just be fine with fuel pressure, and then technically it should just start up. Well, saying that we have everything plugged in. But yeah, we're about to put the intake back on. It's all pretty. He's got it all painted. This thing's gonna look a lot different than it did before. So it's been a hot minute since I did an update. Freaking GTR blew up. IS300 is not blown up. So gonna throw the intake back on. And all right, got the fuel lines and everything ran. Intake and everything's back on. Thing looks crazy now. Got the laptop hooked up. About to fire this thing up. New fuel system. Hey. That was a nice solid startup. Hook this bad boy back up here. I had to set up some TPS. Got the TPS set up pretty decent here. Got a nice 1100 RPMs. Wideband is not yet installed to the ECU. There's a wideband in the car, but typically I'm able to hear just by the way, like the way the car sounds. I can actually kind of get pretty close tuning on idle and everything. So car is just a hair. Hold on. Fueling and checking out this fuel table that came off of the ECU Master website. That's actually a damn good looking table. Alright, so pull this whole map down some. What's it doing? 13.5, 13.6, 13.9, 14. Keep going. 14.5, 14.7. Now you're up to the 14.8. There we go. Should be about 14.7 now.
Pretty close.
There we go. Nice stable idle. Let me take a click or two out of this real quick. There we go. Get us right about where we want to be. It's very solid. Very beautiful idle. So the IS300 build is coming away pretty damn good. Heck yeah. Make this map permanent real quick. This thing choo-choos like the Supra. Whee! Alright, we're doing some tuning on the Lexus. The old G35-900 2JZ VBTI. It is the GTE engine for those new here. Doing some volumetric efficiency tuning, and it's coming out very, very well. I didn't spend much time on this, but it's really similar to the 240. Nice and responsive. So much better. Car just generally makes more power. Just generally more power than it did on the stock ECU, so I think it's spiking a little bit. I think it's hitting like 20 pounds of boost and then dropping down, which could be a wastegate issue, wastegate plumbing also. We've never had the wastegate off of it, so well, actually, did I? Oh, maybe I did.
It was off, but we don't know what springs in it or.
It needs a proper EBC, electronic boost controller. It needs proper plumbing, so that way the ECU can control it and everything. Also, I just tuned this on the fly for with no internal wideband. So I've been using the gauge. As you can see that real beautiful idle that you can't even see. It's just idling. It's at like 14.6 to 7 to 8. There you go. You guys can see it there. There we go. Beautiful idle. So got the beautiful idle going and a beautiful, beautiful map. Eventually, when he gets some different fuel, or not different fuel, when he gets flex fuel, we'll be able to tune two separate maps, and then they will blend together. So this one here is a VE Table 2, which technically should be ethanol or the larger octane content. fuel, and then VE Table 1 should be the lower octane. We're just tuning on VE Table 1. It is now on ethanol. The car is currently just full E85, and it is very, very nice. There's some throttle response issues that I got to deal with. I'm not going to tune that until we get back to my house, so that way I can feel it myself. I'd prefer to feel the throttle response and adjust things accordingly. But this is a very similar setup to the 240, and actually the map and everything is very, very, very similar. It's actually kind of scary how close this is, even though the setups are just incredibly different. So definitely really responsive. This turbo is like crazy, and it makes literally full boost at like 3,200 RPMs. It's nuts. So very, very fast spooling turbo. How's your throttle response when you're rev matching now?
It's much better.
Okay, that's good.
Still need some work, but it's much better.
Like I said, I can only do so much sitting on this side, but I'll have to do it. Now it's on a full mechanical throttle. It was on drive-by-wire, and now we're not. This thing is so much more spicy.
Look, it's the police.
It's the police. Dude, that's like actually crazy just how much more spicy this thing is.
Yeah.
Like you are actually you're like in that realm now. Like it's gonna actually start being quick. Get that boost pressure turned up. This thing will be, I'll make this thing 600 wheel like right now. Dude, that's crazy. I'm like so surprised about how much faster this is. That's freaking nuts. Good thing you put new plugs in it.
I haven't.
No, you haven't?
We're still on the old plugs.
Oh, well, they're still cooking.
They're still working.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it was like 3,500. What?
I want to see if my limited diff is working. My limit slip is working.
Okay. The fuck? You gotta let it wheel spin before you hit the brake.
It was.
Not enough. Jesus!
Do you see 2 marks?
Dude, you freaking blew them off on both sides. It made smoke off the bat. That. Jesus. Yes, you smoked on this side and it stuck to that side. I didn't look smoke over there, but you had freaking rocks sticking over there. Oh my god.
Oh, I gotta actually see black marks. I didn't see black marks.
Oh my god. All right. I smell it.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, bro. Oh my god. What the hell?
Well, everything works.
Oh, that's the smell that I miss. Oh my god. That was so violent.
Remember, I got new tires.
For like no reason, that was so violent. You're just like freaking send that thing, bam, second gear. I do that in the 240. I mean, I guess I did do it. I did it for like 5 minutes straight, but
56 is for.
you do have some short gears, so it lets you do that. I'd be a freak. I guess I could do it in the 240, but like I don't want to hurt those tires. They're expensive. Put some smokers on there.
They're so sticky right now.
That is freaking insane, bro. I was trying so hard to just live my life vicariously through the camera. Jesus. That was crazy. What the
Well,
hell?
now I know how it's done instead of just killing it. You gotta dump it a little.
Yeah, makes torque with boost.